Hello, I'm Ryan Kennedy. Today I've got some more work for your wedge game, and we're dealing with downhill lies. So you can see this guy, really steep slope going downward, greens over here. We've got to get this ball up off the ground so that it has a chance to stop on the green. Now, the two common mishits here are one, hitting behind the ball, hitting it fat. Now, that goes hand in hand truly with sculling the shot, because if you're coming in low behind the ball, let's say you don't actually chunk it but the club head is nonetheless low, then it's on the way up by the time it gets to the ball. Now you've hit a screamer to the other side of the green and into the bunker. So how do we attack this shot? First and foremost, we're going to deal with setup changes, and we're going to need to tilt our body quite a bit to not only match the slope that we're on, but we've got to go even further, because we've got to make sure that the angle we're swinging the club downward on is steeper than the slope. So if the slope is here, club's got to be going like so. So how we do this is we get a lot wider with our stance, and this is going to provide a more stable base, but it also helps us really lean into that left side, which you can see that tilts my spine angle. From over here, I've got a chance at catching this ball on the downswing. Now you'll also notice that as I've got my upper body and lower body leaning in this direction, I also take the shaft and lean it in that direction as well. So everything is going left to keep you from hitting behind the ball. Now, one important thing I want you to think about with the leaning onto that left leg, what I see happen a lot is people lean this way, so the knee sticks out. Now if I try to swing, my arms are going to swing right into my leg. There's no space, so you need to make sure you open up. Now you can see there's plenty of room here for my hands to swing. Again, here blocked off, here wide open. Imperative part of hitting this shot. So let's see how we can do with this guy. Again, you can see nice wide, really leaning into that side. Off and running. Now let's take a look at that in slow motion to see what actually happens with the club head.
Okay, as you can see with the red line with my feet, that's the slope that I'm standing on, so clearly quite a bit downhill. You can see how I've really leaned into the shot to get the angle of attack of this wedge steeper. So the angle of attack has got to be steeper than that red line. So we're looking for something at about that level there. So all of our setup has really been designed to help us achieve that. And you can see the clubs coming down into the ball, certainly much steeper than the red line, which allows us to catch ball first. However, it's not too steep where we dig into the turf and chop it up. Do notice that there's hardly a divot at all. And what you can see here is that there's actually quite a bit of water. This was shot in the morning, so there's water on the face and certainly the grass and on the ball as well. And what you do need to keep in mind in regards to that is that the ball will slide up the face and take off pretty high when there's water involved. Spin will be lower, but trajectory will be higher. Now, nonetheless, despite this, it is important at impact to make sure that you do open the club face. Quick look at the club face I've got there, and it's definitely open to the target line. Now, this is in an effort to counteract how far forward we have leaned, as well as how much shaft lean we have going forward. So that shaft lean would normally take off quite a bit of loft off my 60-degree wedge I was using here. However, by opening it up, we have regained the loft that we have lost. Also, simply the fact that we're hitting down so much is going to make the ball come out a little bit lower. So very important to open up, add loft to this club so that the ball doesn't come out too hot. Now let's watch it all go down in slow motion so you can see a little bit better what we're looking for. A little slower. Clearly, we achieved the most important aspect, coming down steeper than that red line so that we catch the ball first. All based on our setup position.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you around the club.